Okay, so if you followed all the steps in our last video, hopefully your visa application was approved. When my visa application was approved, I got an email from the embassy in Washington, D.C. indicating that my visas had been approved and it was time for me to send my passports to Washington. I overnighted my passport, and I also included an envelope with prepaid postage to have it returned via express mail. You are required to include an envelope with return postage. I had mine sent express, and I had my passports back literally in a matter of days. So then once you've got your passports, you're eligible to go and enter Portugal. Having said that, when you do get your passports, you need to leave. You need to enter Portugal within 60 days. When you do enter Portugal, it's not all over. You still have to pass your immigration interview. SEF, SEF is the Portuguese Immigration Authority. You have to schedule an interview with them when you arrive. And after you pass the interview, then you're granted your temporary residence permit. I worked with an agent. She assisted me with the application process. The application process was really pretty straightforward, but I think the most value I got out of working with an agent was the immigration interview itself. I've heard stories of people getting grilled at their immigration interviews. I was a little nervous. Mine was as easy as could be. I honestly didn't say a word. You do have to wait. I think the day of my interview, I waited about 4 hours. So it is a lengthy process, or a lengthy day at least. Having said that, when I got in, it couldn't have been any easier. The man asked me, "Do you like Portugal?" I said, "I love Portugal, it's great." And that was it. My agent just handled the rest, presented him with my documents. He stamped the necessary paperwork and gave me the documentation I needed to get my temporary residence card. So it was really quite simple. Having said that, you do need to bring some documentation to your SEF interview. You're going to need to bring your Portuguese bank statements. It has to be your Portuguese bank statements. You can't bring bank statements from your home country. That was sufficient for your application. It's not sufficient for your SEF interview. So I had a Portuguese bank account when I applied for my visa. That was because I had a mortgage with a Portuguese bank. If you don't have a Portuguese bank account when you first apply for your visa, you need to get one when you arrive in country. In a later section of the course, I'm going to outline exactly how you do that. You do need to have a bank account though, and you need to have sufficient funds in that bank account. My mother also immigrated to Portugal. She did not have a bank account. And just before the SEF interview, the agent that I worked with said, "Go open a bank account for her and put €1,000 in it." I said, "Is that going to be sufficient funds?" She said, "Absolutely." So I would keep that as kind of a benchmark. Put €1,000 into your bank account to show that that you have sufficient funds to continue to support yourself in Portugal. You're also going to need proof of address. Now, this can be your rental contract. I owned my home, so I presented a deed of purchase. It could also be a bill, like a water bill or an electric bill in your name. In addition to those documents, you're going to need to show proof of Portuguese insurance. Again, you may have decided to enter Portugal on travel insurance, and that's fine. Once you arrive in country, you need to have that private insurance for the SEF interview. I used MGen Advanced Care. I'm going to cover some different options in the healthcare section of this course, but you do need to show proof of funds. So, I'm sorry, proof of insurance. In addition to those documents, you're going to need to have your passports, your original passport. So, be prepared for a lengthy wait at SEF. If you choose to do it on your own, I know a lot of people have done it on their own and they've had no issues. For me, I really appreciated the convenience of working with an agent. I paid €650 for my agent, and she handled everything at the interview. It was great. You may look around and see what agents or attorneys offer packages if you do plan to make a lot of big purchases when you first arrive in Portugal. For example, if you're going to purchase a home, you may choose to work with an agent or an attorney to assist you with that. I know some attorneys, if you're coming to Portugal, They'll charge an upfront fee, perhaps 2,000 euros. They'll handle opening a bank account. They'll handle getting a mortgage. They'll handle your visa application, your CEF interview. They'll also be your power of attorney for the purchase of your home. They'll draw up the purchase contracts. So you might look and see what's available. And I am going to link a list of agents and attorneys who may be able to assist. Unfortunately, the agent that I used is no longer offering her services. She was fantastic. I wish she was still around, but she's not. So look around, see what's available. Many come recommended, but I would suggest doing your due diligence and find out what suits you best. So let's move on to the next section of our course.